In the quiet suburbs of Austin, Texas, 29-year-old Priya Mehta was known as a kind-hearted, devoted elementary school teacher. Her students adored her for her warmth and patience, and her colleagues admired how she turned even the most distracted child into a focused learner. She lived alone in a modest one-bedroom apartment, filling her evenings with lesson planning, yoga, and video calls with her parents in New Jersey. From the outside, her life looked peaceful, stable, and full of purpose. But beneath that calm routine, there was an emptiness she rarely spoke about, a feeling that something in her life was missing. For nearly 3 years, Priya had been in a relationship with Aaron Miller, a 32-year-old musician with big dreams but little direction. In the early days, Aaron had been passionate, artistic, and full of life. Priya loved how different he was from her structured world. But as time passed, Aaron's charm faded. His music career never took off, and financial stress began to take a toll on both of them. He started drinking more, sleeping late, and avoiding responsibilities. Arguments became routine. Priya often felt trapped between wanting to help him and wanting to protect her own peace. Her friends noticed the change before she did. She stopped joining weekend outings, grew quieter in conversations, and often appeared tired even when she smiled. One friend later recalled that Priya had once said she felt stuck in a love story that wasn't going anywhere. Despite her doubts, Priya stayed, hoping things might improve. But deep down, she knew she wanted more. A partner who matched her ambition. Someone who made her feel safe and supported. That quiet longing for something better became the first small crack in the life she thought she had built. It was a quiet shift, almost invisible, but it marked the beginning of a path that would soon spiral into tragedy. Everything began to change the evening Priya attended a local charity gala for underprivileged students. She was there representing her school, dressed simply and modestly, unaware that this night would alter her future. Among the crowd of wealthy donors and professionals was Raymond Cole, a 42-year-old real estate developer known for his fortune and charm. He noticed Priya while she spoke passionately about education reform. Intrigued by her sincerity, he introduced himself, and their conversation flowed effortlessly. Unlike Aaron, Raymond listened attentively, asked about her goals, and admired her dedication. Over the following weeks, Raymond invited her to lunches, gallery openings, and community events. At first, Priya hesitated. She was still emotionally recovering from her turbulent relationship with Aaron. But Raymond's calm confidence drew her in. He made her feel respected and valued, something she hadn't experienced in a long time. Eventually, she decided to end things with Aaron for good. It was a difficult conversation that ended with silence and tears, but Priya felt lighter afterward. Aaron's reaction, however, was far from acceptance. Within days, he began appearing unexpectedly outside her school, waiting by her car, and sending long, emotional messages that turned from apologies to anger. He begged for another chance, but Priya ignored him. She blocked his number and deleted his photos, determined to move on. For a brief time, peace returned. Raymond introduced her to a new world, fine dinners, travel plans, and social circles filled with confidence and luxury. Priya began to dream again, believing she had finally escaped the darkness of her past. What she didn't realize was that Aaron was watching. Through mutual friends and social media, he tracked her every move. He saw her smiling beside Raymond, laughing at rooftop dinners and wearing expensive clothes. What started as heartbreak began to transform into something darker, an obsession that would soon consume him completely. Aaron's heartbreak quickly twisted into a dangerous fixation. Days turned into nights filled with bitterness and sleeplessness as he replayed every moment he had shared with Priya. He couldn't accept that she had moved on so easily, especially with someone like Raymond Cole, a man he saw as everything he wasn't. In his mind, Raymond wasn't just a rival, he was the reason his life had fallen apart. Aaron began checking Priya's social media accounts obsessively, creating fake profiles just to see her posts. Every photo of her smiling beside Raymond felt like a personal attack. His behavior grew more erratic. He stopped working, stopped meeting friends, and rarely left his apartment except to drive past Priya's neighborhood. The more distance she created, the more desperate he became to close it. Using an old location tracking app still connected to her phone from their past, Aaron began following her movements. He knew when she went to school, which coffee shop she preferred, and when she left for Raymond's mansion on weekends. It gave him a twisted sense of control, a false feeling that she still belonged to him. Meanwhile, Priya was building a life that seemed perfect from the outside. She accompanied Raymond to charity events and dinner parties, finally experiencing the comfort she had always wanted. But a shadow lingered over her happiness. Strange things started happening, her car alarm going off in the middle of the night, footsteps echoing behind her during evening walks, and once a note left under her windshield that read, "You can't erase me." She told herself it was nothing, that maybe it was just kids playing around. Yet deep inside, she felt uneasy. The world around her glowed brighter with new love, but the darkness following her was growing stronger. Aaron's obsession had crossed the line between heartbreak and madness, and there was no turning back. On a warm Friday evening in June, Priya joined Raymond for an exclusive dinner at his mansion on the outskirts of Austin. The night was elegant, soft music, glowing candles, and laughter echoing through marble halls. For a few hours, everything felt perfect. Around midnight, she kissed him goodbye and started her drive home, her phone connected to the car's Bluetooth as she called her sister to chat. The conversation was light, mostly about upcoming summer plans, until Priya suddenly mentioned feeling like someone was following her. Moments later, she brushed it off, saying it was probably her imagination. That was the last time anyone heard her voice. The next morning, Priya's car was found abandoned near her apartment complex. The engine was off, her phone was on the passenger seat, and the driver's seat was pushed all the way back, as if someone much taller had been inside. Police quickly sealed off the area. Security footage from nearby stores showed her car being followed by a dark SUV that kept a steady distance behind her. Investigators traced the license plate, which led straight to Aaron Miller. When detectives arrived at Aaron's apartment, he appeared nervous and agitated. Inside, they found several disturbing items: a hoodie stained with what appeared to be blood, Priya's missing necklace, and a small notebook filled with obsessive notes about her and Raymond. The entries grew darker over time, filled with anger and jealousy. During interrogation, Aaron's emotions shifted rapidly from denial to rage until he finally broke down and confessed. He said he only wanted to talk to Priya that night to make her understand how much she had hurt him. But when she tried to leave, something inside him snapped. In a blind moment of fury, he took her life, claiming he didn't mean for it to go that far. Aaron's confession sent shockwaves through the Austin community. News outlets ran the story for days, painting the picture of a promising young teacher whose life was cut short by someone who claimed to love her. When the trial began, the courtroom was filled with tension. Priya's parents traveled from New Jersey, their faces etched with grief. They could barely recognize the man sitting across from them, the same man who had once joined their family dinners and promised to protect their daughter. Now he sat emotionless, staring blankly as prosecutors detailed the final moments of Priya's life. The evidence was overwhelming. DNA from Aaron's hoodie matched the blood found in Priya's car, and his phone's GPS placed him near the scene of the crime at the exact time she disappeared. The jury took less than 2 hours to reach a verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. Aaron showed no visible reaction as the judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. For Priya's family, justice felt hollow. Nothing could bring back their daughter, whose kindness and compassion had touched so many lives. Raymond Cole remained silent throughout the proceedings. He declined interviews but quietly funded a memorial scholarship in Priya's name for students pursuing careers in education. Each year, a ceremony was held at her school, where her former students and colleagues gathered to honor her memory. Her classroom was kept just as she had left it: bright posters on the walls, colorful notebooks stacked neatly on the shelves, and her nameplate still resting on the desk. Over time, the story became a haunting reminder of how quickly love can turn into danger when obsession takes control. Priya's tragedy left behind more than grief. It left a warning that sometimes the most ordinary relationships can hide the darkest truths, and ignoring the signs can come at a devastating cost.